if you're watching after the live, you might have to skip forward a little bit. We're going to let some people hop on before we dive into all the good stuff. But yesterday was a good training. We went to Sean Latimer's in Jersey. Got some good training with the Jersey guys. I filmed the whole entire practice, but it's only for members. So if you want to see how I train, weights, heavy weights, and table time, you're going to have to become a member. You know, it's speaking of one of those Jersey guys, Josh says, "Yo, what's up, Josh? Long time no see. Well, you know, a long time no talk. It's been almost like I don't know, was it been 20 minutes or something? You know, Josh was helping me out with the some technical camera stuff. Drew, what's up, Drew? But yeah, yesterday's training was really good training. It was good, you know. Let's see. What did we pull, Josh? We pulled for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something, if I'm not mistaken. But it was pretty, you know, it was, you know, after everyone warmed up, I would say it's, you know, it was a pretty intense practice. So it was definitely worth the trip. So that was good. Josh says 3, I think. Yeah, it could be 3. Yeah, I would say 2.5, 3 would be a safe bet. Yeah, excellent training, says Josh. I agree. Oh, what's up, Brian? Long time no same thing, you know. It's like we spent, what was it, 6 almost 7 hours in a car yesterday, maybe 7 hours. So that was good though. It was a nice trip. The GPS scared us. You know, when we left, it was like an hour longer than the trip down, but it was just the GPS thought there was more traffic than there was. So it was a nice little practical joke from the old GPS. But what do you guys want to talk about? Any certain topics or because we could talk about pretty much anything, you know, arm wrestling related, powerlifting related, you know. Let's see. Josh says, I'm editing the footage now. Oh, very nice. That's gonna be cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it looks. Brian says, "How you feeling?" I feel pretty good. Right arm is definitely got some crazy work in, I would say. I mean, left too, but you know, the match is right, so I've been putting more focus on the right. But I feel pretty good. Elbow, bicep, and brachialis mostly has got work the most. The hand too, but mostly elbow. I would say elbow brachialis, which is good. Oh, Josh says me question mark like Team Stone is a brick wall. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I used the old weight advantage. Drew says Carolyn the Humble. That could be a new nickname maybe. You never know. Brian says, "What about group of absolute monsters, bro?" Um, oh, I think it just means what a group of absolute monsters, bro. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, they got some really strong guys down there. Maybe I'm wrong, but Kevin might be the top dog right now on the team. If maybe I'm wrong. Um, Definitely lefty, I would say, but probably righty too. Yeah, they got a lot of strong guys down there, and they're pretty quick too. Pretty quick, so that's good. Um, let's see. David says hi. What's up, David? So, Nee says, "Hey, bro, I got a question. I can only imagine what it is." Brandon says, "Whereabout in America you from?" I'm from the East Coast, the northern East Coast. So let's see. Vincent, what's up, man? This is how are you? I'm doing good. How are you? He says, how old are you? Depends on who you ask, but about 31. Brandon says Eddie Hall looks like Nic Stone. Oh, I appreciate that. I've definitely heard that before. Let's see. Vincent says, what part of Northeast? Boston? Nope. I'm from Connecticut. Pretty close, though. Brandon says, hey, he's from, I think it means same town as me. Same, oh yeah, that's what it means. Well, no, says you can't park there. I think I can. We're going to stay here until someone kicks us out. Vincent says, nice hat, man. Oh, I appreciate that. There's only two of a kind. There's only two of these Team Stone hats. And eventually we're going to have more. We're going to have them for sale. But right now we have the Team Stone t-shirts for sale. We have the logo. It's a white logo on a black t-shirt. Very, very nice shirts. So Mad says, hey mate, what's up, man? Let's see. Vincent says, do you know Greenwich, Connecticut? I think that's where the WWE is, I think. I think that's a town where the WWE has their headquarters, or I think they used to. And then he says over there, it's a wealthy place. Yeah, definitely some parts of Connecticut are very, very wealthy, and that's one of them. So let's see, how do you say this name? I'm going to say AT for short. It says, sup, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. So let's see, Cruz says, what's your line of work? So I am a strength coach, a personal trainer, and also a professional arm wrestler. So I'll tell you what, Cruz, if you like arm wrestling, anything strength related, you picked the right spot. Josh says Nick is a strength coach. Definitely is. Definitely is. Brian says, "LOL, we were just talking about that. I'm not. I forgot what we were talking about." Well, maybe you can refresh my memory, Brian. So AT says, "Yeah, it's a tool. A tool? What type of tool? Like a hammer or something? Screwdriver?" So Vincent says, "Do you born in Connecticut?" I wish I could answer that, but no one really knows where I was born. Kind of just showed up one day, and yeah, that was that, I guess. So a tool says, "Brother, please suggest some help regarding carpal tunnel syndrome." Well, I would say, I'm first off, I'm not a doctor, so don't sue me if anything weird happens. But I would say, that being said, I would say, um, you got to find a way to get it stronger without over inflaming it, So, and also too, if you never use it, it's more than likely gonna get worse. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose strength. So try to find something that you can exercise. I mean, the carpal tunnel area that you know when you're done with the workout, you want to feel better. When versus like you don't want to do the workout and be unable to use your hand kind of thing. But that's what I would say. So Border says, "Do you eat venison?" Um, it's been a while. It's been a little bit, but it's good. So Cruz says, "Can you box, or do you just do arm wrestling?" So I definitely don't wear the gloves. but I do the arm wrestling. You could probably have a lot longer career in arm wrestling, and you're still gonna talk the same from when you started to when you finish. You know, you don't get any of the concussions. And boxing's probably worse than MMA for concussions. I would think. You know, if you think about boxing, you know, if someone gets knocked out, they get back up. You know, they could do that over and over again as long as they get up in 10 seconds. Versus in the UFC, if you get knocked out, the match is called. So I would think boxing would have a higher rate of brain trauma. But what do I know? I'm just an arm wrestler. Brian says wealthy Connecticut. Oh yeah, yep. Now I remember. Yep. Everyone thinks you're a trillionaire if you're from Connecticut. So a tool, that's probably something if you think it's that bad, you're probably gonna have to go see some type of medical help. But I would say, you know, he also asked, should I overtrain it and let it heal itself? I mean, I definitely wouldn't overtrain it. I would train it to the point where, you know, you are not over inflaming things. You know what I mean? So find something you could do that you can get a good workout in, but does not inflame anything. But yeah, man, maybe you'll have to do that, but maybe it's worth getting checked out. So what's up, man? John says, what's up? What's up, brother? Not sure if you covered this, but did you watch Jerry's match? I didn't see all of it. I do know the outcome, but what was the final score? I know who won, but what was the final score? Um, but yeah, John? What'd you think of that match? Did you watch it live? Did you watch it a little bit after? Brian says more hits to the head in boxing overall. Yeah, definitely true. So Nick says, good morning, bro Tato, Chip. I appreciate that. Loved watching yesterday's stream. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it was a pretty, you know, I kind of set the camera up. I tried to get all the tables. Hopefully it was a pretty good stream. I watched some of it. You know, there was some spots that were missed because, you know, just a lot of people, you know what I mean, which is nothing you could do about it. Plus, you know, training comes first kind of thing. But I think it worked out good, you know. So Cruz says, it does seem like MMA does result in less injuries. However, I know an MMA fighter who I talked with in high school, and he sounds very different. Yeah, I mean, either way, you know, if you're getting hit in the head over and over again, the odds are you might have some brain damage. Even, you know, football players, you know, even with those big helmets, you know, the brain will rattle around, you know, and then some of these fighters are doing this dehydrated, so that probably makes it even worse. I would imagine, but Let's see. Josh says I was kind of in the way a lot. Yeah, but you caught the gimbal dying, so you saved it. You know what I mean? So we'll call it even. You know, because if it wasn't for you, I probably would have completely forgot about it until you know the very end when I went to go turn it off, kind of thing. Um, but another thing too, the camera is so tiny, it's black, so like blends in with the floor and stuff like that. I kind of put it, off to the side where like no one would really walk. I would thought, so it blends in. You know, what I mean, I don't, people don't definitely don't do it on purpose. So John says I didn't see any of it, just the post interview and saw Jerry's post on Facebook. I spent the day with my fiance before her trip. Guess from what Jerry was saying, Vitaly was just quicker than he expected. I mean, yeah, I didn't, I didn't see all the matches, but I would think, the score would have to, if Vitaly did beat Jerry, he would have to do it fast. You know what I mean? Keep him out of position, kind of thing. But yeah, it's interesting. You know. Then he says, looks like it's Vitaly / Levon next. I mean, I think is that locked in? Is that locked in? Do you know? Um, I mean, I would like to see that match. It probably makes the most sense on paper too, because the last contender versus Levon was Jerry, and then Vitaly beat Jerry, so it makes sense. Is it at the next East versus West or the following one? I wonder. I wonder how much time Levon needs to prep for a match. Like, so Cruz says, "You sound smart AF. Are you pretty smart?" I like to say so. I do. I would like to think so. Depending on who you talk to, they may disagree. Um, some things I struggle with, like technology, but I do have some good friends out there that will take chunks out of their day out to help me with technology questions. So to answer your question, I would say at least pretty smart. Smart enough. Maybe that. Just smart enough. That's funny. So let's see. What's up, Slug? He says, "What's up, brother? Seen you got a match with Chance Shaw. Definitely do. December 6th. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be good. But yeah, it's coming up quick. Um, and if you guys want to see the pay per view, it's going to be on pay per view, Natty Bros channel, YouTube, under the memberships. And there's also going to be in person tickets. It's going to be in Massachusetts, but I think it's Woburn, Mass. I think. Gotta double check. So John says, from what Jerry and Devin was saying, it is. I mean, that'd be cool. That'd definitely be cool. Um, Vitali wins, I feel like that would throw so many things off in the ranking because, you know, Vitali has some interesting losses to some, you know, certain. I mean, definitely not weak guys. Like, you know, these guys are monsters, but some of the losses he's had, I don't think the other, you know, top 2, 3, 4, you know, 5 guys have lost to. So it's very interesting. So let's see. Brian says, "What's the top roller name with the nasty high post from your team?" Josh, I can only remember a couple names. You talking about the lefty guy? The guy that only pulls lefty? The guy, I forgot his name too, but I know the guy, he just had a knee injury. That guy. Um, yeah, his post was pretty good. He just jam it right up and send it. Laurel, good morning. Good morning to you too. I appreciate that. So Josh says Kevin Callner to Brian. And then Brian says, "Nah, the short guy like my height with the short arm like mine. Got to get some tips." Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about too. I forgot his name. Nick says smarter than the average bear. Definitely true. Definitely true. There's probably some people out here that have never seen where that came from. That old cartoon. So Slug says, "Feel bad for Jerry. Couldn't even get into the match." That's how it goes sometimes. You know, sometimes that's how it goes. But you gotta take the bad with the good and get back to training and just get stronger. So John says, Woburn, Mass, Dave and Buster's. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was at Dave and Buster's, but I couldn't remember which Dave and Buster's. But the Woburn. All right. So let's see. Let me check some of his comments. They moved a little bit. Josh says, "Oh, John Bailey." Okay, yeah, I think that's his. The Brian says, "Okay, yeah, he has a nasty style. Great hit with the post. I want to try that. Yeah, it's a good style, and he's good at climbing too. He's a good climber." So Cruz says, "I wish I could get into MMA more, but I don't know where to find out when all the matches or face-offs happen." Maybe Google, man. Maybe Google. Maybe a Facebook. Maybe there's a Facebook page out there. But you know, let's see. Josh says his style is weird AF. It just works out well. Yeah, it definitely works. You know, he's definitely good in the strap too. But yeah, it's good. Josh says it's like a big can opener. It definitely is. It definitely is. Brian says he hits hard AF sideways with that and still is effective even when his hand goes back. But I think he still has. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't really. I'm trying to remember. I think he still has the thumb. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Slug says Jerry said he wants to versus Hermes next in his post-match interview with Devin. Yeah, I'd like to see another match with him and Hermes. It'd be interesting. Let's see. So Cruz says I stay off most social media platforms. I like to keep private. Oh, that's good. Maybe you might have to do one just to find information about those UFC stuff or the stuff you're looking for. Josh says he will flop so hard and fast you don't realize you just lost. LOL. Yeah, it's a twisty flop. Catherine says, "Hi, it's me, Catherine." Again, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Having a good time talking about arm wrestling stuff. So Slug says Yochi's match was the most fun to watch for me. He is a wild puller. I didn't see that match yet. I didn't even hear about it yet. But I did. The only thing I did hear was that it was the match of the night, which I could definitely see. Yoshi is a very entertaining puller. Let's see. Oh, we need a translator. Any translators out there? There's a 5 in there. I can see that. I got at least one of those letters. Catherine says nice. Absolutely very nice. So Catherine says, how has your day been going so far? Pretty good. It's been a pretty good day, pretty good day, gonna do the live. We had some clients early morning. Some people came over to the gym. We trained them up. Now we're doing a pre-lift live. After this, I'll probably set up another live, probably for the recovery lift. So I got the gimbal charging right now. Should be pretty much full charge by now. But yeah, hopefully your day is good too. So Slug says, so you ever met or gripped up with Chance and y'all doing both arms? So I don't think we've ever actually talked in person. I don't think. I know we've like talked on the phone or text or something. We never pulled. So it'll be the first time we're pulling, and it is right arm. So it's going to be good. Josh says it doesn't really translate to anything that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes those translators aren't the best. One time I used one of those translators on I got a free sample supplement amino acid things from I think it was like I think it was South Korea. South Korea, I think. And I used the translator, maybe Japanese. So, but I used the translator, and I'm reading the ingredients, and I put it on once. The first time, it said melon flavored, and then I was like, next time I tried to look up, I did the same thing again. It said human flavor. So sometimes a little off. Oh, maybe that one makes more sense. Maybe that's the translated one. But I don't even know what language that is. Something. So Catherine says, it has been great so far. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's a pretty nice day. It's not too cold. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Let's see. Slug says Todd destroyed Arackley once again. Wonder who Arackley's gonna go after now. Yeah, I mean, Rackley is he's a beast, and for Todd to do that, it shows he's also a beast, and he's got to have some pretty smart table IQ. So Cruz says you're a strength coach. I'm curious what your PRs are. Let me know what lift, and maybe I've done it. But yeah, give me a lift or two because there's lots of PRs. But yeah, I mean, I would even if they had a rematch at the next event, I would still like to see that match. But it's interesting. So Slug says maybe Arackley should go against Yoshi. That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. I mean, I'd like to see that match too. Um, Maybe that is the next match. Are they the same weight? Are they the same weight? So he says bench. So Cruz says bench or leg press. Also, what do you curl as an arm wrestler? So I'll say bench because I don't think leg press. I mean, you'd need like a Ronnie Coleman machine, one of those Ronnie Coleman machines where he's got 2,000 pounds on it to get a leg press PR. But bench press, my best in a competition was 600. I used to be a powerlifter before I was an arm wrestler, so my best bench was 600. And what do I curl as an arm wrestler? I haven't. I do modified curls, arm wrestling curls. So I do like table curls and stuff like that. But I don't know what I could strict curl right now. I would think at least, 225 at least, I'd think. Um, let's see. So Nick says, hitting the gym tonight, period. Any recommendations on what I should do for lifting for practice tomorrow? Yeah, I got some couple recommendations. I'm going to be doing multiple recovery lifts today. My last one is going to be in the evening, so I don't know um, if you're able to make it. But if you want to join my recovery lift tonight, let me know. You know, but if not, if you can't make it, um, I would say, do some wrist flexion, some pronation, just nice and easy. Because you're going to be arm wrestling tomorrow. Just get some blood in there. And then I'd probably also say whatever you normally train on Monday, still do the same exercises. But if you need to back off on the intensity, maybe something like that. But yeah, if you can make it tonight, you're more than welcome. I can't remember. I'm gonna put something in the group chat. I can't remember. But if anyone is listening, wants to join today's recovery workout, you have at least 2 opportunities, maybe even 3. One will be in whenever I hop off this live, and the other opportunity will be tonight. So let's see. Slug says, well, I know Todd Hutchings had a match with Yoshi, and Todd barely beat him, so I'm assuming he's same weight class as Rackley as well. Light heavyweight, I think. That could be. It's like, what are they, like, was that 230 or something? What's a light heavyweight? Is it 242? No, it's 231 or something. But yeah, I would definitely like to see that match. Brian agrees. He says, yeah, buddy. Oh, unless he's talking about the leg press. Maybe he's talking about the leg press, the Ronnie Coleman leg press reference. That's probably what he's talking about. So Catherine says, I liked and followed you. Oh, thank you very much. That definitely helps out a lot. I appreciate that. So Nick says, I'll probably watch the stream while at the gym. LOL. Luckily, my gym has most of the handles / straps. Oh, very nice. Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate watching. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let's see. Oh, we're all caught up on comments. So you know what that means? It means I'm getting better at speed reading. Went from 22 words a minute, probably almost at 33 words a minute. We'll see. So let's see. Allie says hello, and Blue Haze says, bro, go to work. I am at work right now. This is what we do. This is part of it. And we could say the same thing to you. Are you at work right now? Well, either way, I appreciate you watching the live feed, but don't let your bosses catch you. They'll yell at you. Maybe even kick you out of the building. There's only one way to find out. So Allie says, "What is your name?" My name is Nick, and I like to arm wrestle. So if you got some arm wrestling questions, let me know. So, I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Blue. But Allie says, beat Levon. All right. It's going to have to be done now. Blue says, have you seen Over the Top? I have. I actually know some people that were in that movie. I've arm wrestled some people that were in that movie. So let's see. Blue says, put in pain means work out. And he says, I thought you were going to lift some shit. So, if you go to the title of this video, do you see how it says pre, big capital letters, PRE, pre-recovery lift? So what that means is this is the video we do before we lift. But I appreciate the excitement. But if you want to see the heavy shit lifted, Blue, you're gonna have to become a member, because that's a benefit only the STONEtv members gets to see. They get to see all my arm wrestling training, all my heavy lifts, all my medium lifts. The only ones I'm gonna post public will be my recovery lifts, and that's probably it. That's just my recovery lifts. And it won't be with the recovery lifts. There is no heavy shit lifted because it's a recovery lift. But let's see. Josh says the title does say pre-recovery lift live. Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely does. Well, at least I hope it does. But it does. It does. Allie says, what's your deadlift, PR? My best deadlift in a powerlifting meet was 880 pounds. I think Brian's laughing at the last pre-comment. I think. But yeah, when I was powerlifting, that was probably one of my better lifts, and especially in terms of getting a total. You know, in powerlifting, it's about getting a total. Biggest total wins. That's a 3 lift total. Ali says, that's crazy. I appreciate that. My deadlift is probably terrible right now. But my arm wrestling is good. But yeah, I haven't competed in powerlifting since 2019. And then after that, 2020, I switched over to arm wrestling pretty much. Brian says, I want 9 for 9. Don't get me started, Brian. We just talked about this. But since you started it, I guess we'll talk about the 9 for 9. So powerlifting has changed. I mean, I haven't really seen too much. I'm sure it's changed so much more since I haven't been powerlifting. But powerlifting is a total sport. So like the biggest total wins Um, it's supposed to be super simple. Um, Biggest total wins, and if there's a tie, whoever is lighter wins. Um, but used to when I was powerlifting, used to drive me crazy. People would say, "Oh, I went 9 for 9," and I had a perfect meet. I went 9 for 9, and then you'd ask them like, did you have a bigger total than the last event? And they'd be like, no, uh, you know, I lifted less, but I went 9 for 9. I didn't miss anything. But it never really made sense to me, because it was a total sport. Like when I won the Arnold Classic and I went 3 for 9. I missed 6 lifts. But because I got through, I still got the biggest total, so I won. But I don't know. I was if you're going if you're going 9 for 9 without PRs and total PRs, you're probably not. I shouldn't. Let's see. You're not the competitive powerlifting is not there. It's more of a hobbyist powerlifting. Maybe that's a nice way of saying it. But I guess that's it. Ali says followed. Oh, I appreciate that. That definitely helps out a lot. Definitely does. So I appreciate that. Um, what other good matches was there? Any other? What was runner up for match of the night? Yoshi got him. Most people saying Yoshi was the match of the night. Yeah, I still got to go back and watch it. I just I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times, not all the time, but sometimes if I see something that gives away the outcome, I kind of don't really uh, go out of my way to watch things so much. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Well, let's see. Brian says mask or Chafee, probably. Oh, I did see Matt. I saw Matt match versus was it Kachachenko or something? I saw that match. That was a good match. I didn't see Dave's match, but I do know he won. And everyone was, at least from what I saw, a lot of people saying this Dave looked really good. So yeah, maybe one of those two were the runner-up match of the night. So Ali says, "Have a great day. Best of luck for arm wrestling." Oh, thank you very much. That's nice of you. I appreciate that. Best of luck to you too. And if you ever decide to arm wrestle, we know a couple guys, a couple teams that are looking for new teammates. Um, That's funny. Well, no, I guess since Brian got me all hopped up on the 9 for 9 thing, another thing that used to, I mean, now it doesn't bother me, but when I was powerlifting, it didn't say like frustrated me, but it didn't really make sense to me, because I would have people come up to me all the time and they would try to explain how they were stronger than me because of some math equation, you know, um, where I mean, one of my lifts were bigger than their whole entire total, but because of some math equation, uh, like Wilkes or whatever, the Hobson, whatever, and that other gay one. But yeah, it never made sense to me. One time, there's favoritism. Each equation has favoritism to certain lifts, certain even genders, certain genders. So I don't know. There's lots of weird things in there that never made sense to me. But maybe it got overcomplicated. I feel like powerlifting's a very simple sport. I feel like arm wrestling is a simple sport. Just keep it simple. Because when you start doing weird stuff like putting math in there, things get weird. But powerlifting should just be, nice and easy. Biggest total wins. In the case of a tie, the lighter guy wins, and that should be it. I guess let's see. Vib says, "Hey bro, what's up, Vib? If we had to, you know, bring that to arm wrestling, I think it'd have to come down to like something with the rules. I think make it super simple. If there is a foul, there's a foul. If there's no foul, there's no foul." And Brian says, "Why are the Canadians always fucking with the tables?" with a laughing face. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're always making these new contraptions, and maybe it's something in the maple syrup up there. Maybe the maybe the maple syrup like ferments in the trees up there, and they're all hopped up on fermented maple syrup liquor. But that is a good question. The last Mac table I saw, I don't think it was the right legs, for that table. I think it was just a top and then just like, 4 pipes screwed in kind of thing. Brian says, "Hopped up on syrup and obsessed with innovation trademarks." Hey man, once you start the syrup starts you. That's how you that's how you got to live your life, you know. But that's a price some people are willing to make. I mean, I think it's good. You know, I always think more arm wrestling is better for the sport. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but I would always think more arm wrestling is better. Because I like to bring it to like the think about like the the NFL and the arena football. Same sport, different field. Some fans like one field, some fans like the other field, some fans like both. You know, so I think more is better. Let's see. So Josh says they make molds in the snow, pour maple syrup in the mold with popsicle sticks, let it sit for like 10 minutes, and serve. That's the old, what do they call that? The Canadian snow cone or something? Um, be careful looking that up because that sounds a little weird. Be careful. But yeah, I've seen that before with the snow. You gotta you gotta pick the snow wisely. You know. Oh, that's a good one, Brian. He goes, "I am the syrup, Randy." If you know where that's from, you got a good sense of humor. I used to what's that? Trailer Park Boys. I used to watch that when I was a kid. Um, and I thought it was hilarious. You know. But yeah, that Mr. Leahy was a pretty good actor. Jess has no idea, but I approve. That's good. I appreciate that. So let's see. I can see that we got 8 thumbs up. If you don't know, my phone's a little busted, but it's still kicking. But I can't. How many people we got in the chat right now? We got more than 8. We got less than 8. But I do appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up because I know it helps with the YouTube algorithm, whatever it's called, the YouTube brain or whatever it's called, the algorithm. Or I'm not gonna be able to say it today for some reason, so I'm not gonna try again. um, let's see. So I know I said this before in the member videos, but if there's any members, Stone TV members in the chat, let me know what else you guys would like to see for the member videos. So probably I'm gonna put the practices up, arm wrestling and the heavyweights. Um, um, so I'm probably gonna hop off soon. We're almost finished up with the pre-workout. Let's see. I should be pretty good on battery. Oh, I can't see it right now. I should be pretty good because I was at 90 or something like that when I started. So Brian says probably exclusive interviews would be good. Um, Interviews with anybody in particular? Like you're talking like big names kind of thing. Do you mean like interviews with like our teammates, like something like that, or both? Any kind of? What do you mean by who is the interviewees? Because that's a good idea. Let's see. Josh says set a lineup of people, see who is interested, and set a date. You mean like for you mean like for the YouTube go live together thing? What do you mean by Ryan says field trips maybe? Yeah, we could definitely do that. We kind of started that like yesterday's training with our field trip is on the members only videos. I think it's like at least 2.5 hours of film. I'm on there arm wrestling. Kevin Connor's on there arm wrestling. A whole bunch of people. Even Josh is on there. If you want to see Josh, that camera guy, definitely check out his channel. That camera guy 98. Got some high quality videos. Um, so Josh says day of recording interviews. Then he says we can set up a big backdrop, some chairs, whiskey, cigars, and nothing but hardcore arm wrestling stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Um, I won't be having any cigars or whiskey until after my match, but that is definitely a cool idea. Um, I usually have like maybe like 2 to 3 cigars a year. When I go down south, there's I think it's actually called Nick's Cigar Shop, but they have some pretty nice cigars. But yeah, that would definitely be cool. We'll set up a nice shot, and maybe we could set something up after practice or something with whoever can stay. You know what I mean? Maybe we can have a something like that. That'd be cool. Josh says at Joe's place. I've never been to Joe's. The ponytail gentleman. You talking about Chief? The ponytail gentleman? Are you talking about the High Chief? Because I don't think anyone on your team has a ponytail. I don't think. You must be. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chief's place would be good. Um, I gotta get a Wi-Fi thing for Chiefs because the, you know, the live will probably drop a whole bunch of times, but that's definitely doable. Plus, like we wouldn't even need like a green screen or anything with Chiefs. We just, we'll set it right up in front of pretty much anything. The arm wrestling machine, all the trophies and all that stuff. If you don't know, the dungeon is it's like a arm wrestling museum. And then he says he has the wood burning stove. Yeah, that'd be cool. Set up next to the right next to the stove. Plus, it's the warmest spot in the dungeon. We could get some marshmallows and stuff and roast the marshmallows in the stove. That could make s'mores, maybe some s'mores. That's funny. Josh says great ambiance. We will record. Whoops, the comments are moving. We will record to put out later for members on STONEtv. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. I'm excited. I'm excited. So Mad says, any advice for bulking? Um, I would say it depends on if you want to bulk clean or dirty. Um, I would say probably the best way is to do both. Um, eat as much good meat and food that you can. Beef will be good. Beef is a good meat. When you cook the beef, don't strain the fat out. Keep the fat in there. Um, and if you can't get the calories in, throw some junk food in to get the calories in. But Matt, it depends on what your goals are. Like, are you a strength athlete? Are you a just somebody that wants to just put on some muscle to look better, feel better, or are you a competitive athlete looking to get go up a weight class? So depends on what your goals are. Would depend on how I would answer that more. But Mad, maybe you can let me know a little more. Like you just looking to put on some. So Matt says looking better. Then I would probably try to keep it clean. What you're eating right now, if you're not gaining weight, you're gonna have to eat more. If you're not gaining weight, it's pretty simple. You have to eat more. Um, if for some reason, say if you can't eat any more food, you're gonna have to find food that is denser in calories. Um, yeah, something like that. I hope that helps out. You know, it's a pretty simple answer, but that's the prettiest thing. That's simply the best answer. Let's see. Apex says, oh, there's a little thing blocking it. It says, "Yo, buddy, how are you? I'm doing good, man. Um, I'm doing good. Hopefully you're doing good. We're talking about some arm wrestling stuff. We're talking about bulking." Matt says, "How to bulk without gaining fat." Um, I mean, there's lots of factors. um, it's challenging to put on muscle without putting on fat. It is doable, but it's very challenging. Um, I would say, you know, just up your protein for right now. See if that works. Just up the protein. But it is doable to bulk without gaining fat, but it's very, very tricky. Some of people that can do it are like some of the best bodybuilders um, out there. They can gain muscle without gaining fat. But let's see. Matt says, "Does amino acids work?" Um, yeah, I mean, there's different amino acids, a whole bunch of amino acids. So each amino acid is gonna be different. But yeah, it's gonna help. It's not gonna hurt you, but it's gonna help. Um, but it depends on which amino acids you're taking. I read your comment, but I'm not gonna read it out loud because Josh deleted it. But I appreciate that. And be warned, we have a moderator with a iron fist, or should I say, iron pointer finger, and he's just waiting. He's just waiting to hit that timeout button. So Apex says, "I regret arm wrestling with him." Oh, I missed something. I missed a comment. But before that, he says, Apex says, "I hate arm wrestling. My brother made my shoulder. I don't know what happened to it. It hurts a lot when I pick up my arm." Yeah, man, arm wrestling can be painful at times. Hopefully, it's just like a strain or something. But yeah, you should. I think it will heal up good. So Black Orange, he's in the chat. And Josh says, "Not the numbers again." It happens. It happens. But I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the comments. Um, I appreciate you getting rid of that comment too, Josh. It was nice of you. And so let's see. Black says, "Gonna go 40x." I'm not sure what you mean by that, man. But we're gonna. I know I said it a little while ago, but we're definitely gonna hop off soon. But we will be back for the recovery lift. So if you guys want to hang out more, lift with me, I'll be back on in 30 minutes to an hour. Just got to get things set up. So let's call this guy K. He says, "Call my name is hard to call. And that's why we're going to call you K." Apex says, "I love to watch Devin Lorette in arm wrestling. Very entertaining. He's one of the best guys out there in the sport. He's been one of the best for quite a while." But yeah, he definitely makes things entertaining. So Josh says his account was started in July. You talking about the Black Orange? Who are you talking about? Black Orange? That's what I think you're talking about. But what's that mean? Like, just because he hasn't been around that long, does that mean like, oh, okay. Is that like a sign of a troll or something? Is that like a sign of a troll or something? Red flag or something? That's funny. Jess is probably a troll account. It could be. That's why I was a little hesitant on reading the name. Could be one of those things when you read it out loud, it becomes a different word. Yeah, yesterday was some pretty intense training. I mean, even my legs got a good workout. My legs were sore. My back was sore. My spinal erectors was sore. My abs were sore. So yesterday was a really good practice. Apex says, "See you, bro. I am going to beat Devin in my dream, of course. I tell you what, and that'll be a good one. Maybe someday, if you train hard, put the work in for 5 years to 10, maybe one day you can beat him. Maybe you have a match with him. But we will see. But I appreciate you watching while you can." Brian says, "My pronators are cooked." Yeah, man. Mine too. Pronator, the elbow, brachialis, the shoulder. It's good. It's all good stuff. Josh says, "My camera arm is toast." LOL. Yeah, man. I bet that camera feels extra heavy today. You're gonna have to get one of those chest supported camera holders or something like that. But yeah, I feel you, man. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna set the next Josh says steady cam. Oh yeah. You gotta get something good to that will stabilize if you cramp up or something. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna set up the next live, and if you guys want to hang out and lift, you can do the recovery lift with me. That should be a good time. But thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.